Before we show you the few clips we captured on Mount Washington, I want to take a minute and share an important warning. Mount Washington is one of the most dangerous mountains in the United States. The weather here can change incredibly fast. A beautiful sunny hike can turn into high winds, freezing temperatures, dense fog, rain, hail, or even snow in just a matter of minutes, even during the summer. In fact, this mountain has recorded some of the highest wind speeds ever measured on Earth, and every year hikers get into trouble because they underestimate how quickly conditions can deteriorate and change. When Sweets, Mustard Seed, and I started our hike, conditions looked manageable given our experience in extreme weather conditions on other mountains. But as you'll see, the weather began changing very quickly. Once visibility dropped and conditions worsened, our focus shifted from filming to making safe decisions and getting to safety. So if you're planning to hike Mount Washington, do your research. Check the forecast, make sure you have the proper gear, and be willing to wait. On this day, we were very fortunate. In fact, on the same day, there were other search and rescue missions on surrounding mountains. No summit is worth risking your life. Please be careful. With that said, here's a look at our brief adventure on Mount Washington before the mountain reminded us who was really in charge. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's day 117, and we are leaving
Lake of
the Clouds hut and about to head up into a mess of a day. We got a cloud out there. It's a rain cloud, and the wind's supposed to pick up as we go today. So up to 90 miles an hour. It's going to be a wild one. So we don't even know if we're going to get any filming done.
Yeah, with the moisture. Gosh, I don't know if I'll be able to. I'll try.
Yeah, and just safety. We'll see what we can do, but it's going to be a crazy one. So we'll check in when we can. All right. Here we go.
So that's the lake. We're tucked behind the mountain from the wind at the moment. And there's lots of mountains out there, right there. Hasn't been terrible so far. Windy, chilly. We are suited up though. So we're warm and protected, hiking slow and careful. All right, we've been about a mile. We got 0.6 to the top. Mustard had her puffy on under her raincoat, and she's rather warm. So she took the puffy off, and we're rain gearing up for the rest of the way up. Final push to Washington. So it's not exactly raining right now. We're just in a cloud. Sometimes it's more windy than other times. It's really not quite as bad as I was anticipating so far. We'll see how the rest goes. parking lot. Tip Top House. We can't see very far in front of us, so it's hard to tell where to go. I'm not sure how far we went, but so far the way down was just like the top as far as crazy wind. Check out that trail. Got a little break on the side of the mountain.
All right, so we are in the Madison Hut right now, which has really been a lifesaver because
Literally.
we could not record it, but there were 100-mile-an-hour winds, and at least that much. And some of that was sustained even, not even just gust, but just stayed that way. So much so it was knocking us, literally knocking us off our feet. We were crawling down the mountain, scooting down the mountain.
Most of the trail.
Because we couldn't stand up.
Between Washington and here, we were crawling.
I fell at one point and couldn't get up because the wind was just holding me to the ground. Pretty wild, pretty wild. Mustard Seed, she's over here.
Survival. Yeah. They have potato soup, so that's helping.
Yeah, she is regretting her decision to hike with us.
The year 2023, that was that bad year, and it was kind of neat in a way because they weren't. They said they started filming. They just wanted to kind of keep it, and then they started kind of getting popular. And
all right, so I have my food out. They're gonna have a similar meal to this, but this one's mine, and I'll take the rice. So they'll have this pan and the beans for everyone else. So.
That's not true.
No, we got
that
some
is not
awesome
true.
enchiladas,
We're gonna tear that up.
beans, and we're about to eat a lot of food.
Oh yeah.
We earned it today.
Yeah.
All right, look. So when you get out here and have to hike these crazy days, and you stumble around, let me show you what Mustard Seed's legs look like after today.
Yeah, little beat up there.
She got a little bruised up. Show us the other one. It's bruised up too.
Yeah, and my knees are pretty swollen.
Old buckle knees. Falling down all day today. I don't know why she was falling so much. Pretty clear day out there today. I mean, there's no video evidence of this crazy wind that apparently knocked her down. Who knows? Ooh, oh boy, what a day. We are in a bed after a wild ride today. Let me recap what you did not get to see today.
Oh gosh, we couldn't record anything.
It was so. Let me start. Yeah, let's start there. So, yesterday, last night we got to stay at the Hut, Lake of the Clouds.
Thank you, Six Pack.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So awesome.
And we were looking at the weather, and the weather was calling for 40 to 50 mile per hour winds through about 2 p.m. And then after 2, from like 2 to 6 p.m., it was going to start increasing to up to 80 to 90 mile per hour winds. Gusts. Yeah, from the gusts were that high. So 40 to 50 gusts, pretty much till 2. 2 to 6, it would get up to 80 to 90 miles per hour. After 6, through the evening, through tonight, was calling for 100 plus miles per hour.
And about 40 degrees. So at sunrise,
Yep.
I thought it could be in the 20s.
Yep.
Wind chill.
Wind chill in the
then
20s.
up to mid 50s.
Yep. So we made a decision last
On the
night.
mountains, not looking in town. We're
Right.
looking
At the summit. Yep. At the summit of Mount Washington. So we made the decision that the best thing to do would be to push through, because we didn't want to wait because the weather was just going to get worse, and we were on the mountain, so we had to do something. So it's either going to hunker down for a few days or to push on.
All the rain gear.
So we made a decision. We'll start early. We'll dress accordingly. And if we start early enough, we know our pace. And even if it were a slow pace for us for the day, we'd still be off the ridge and back in tree line by about 12 to 1.
Yeah.
So we left at 7 a.m. this morning. And even talking with the crew there at Lake of the Clouds, they were like, yeah, here's the weather report.
It's going to be really crazy.
It's going to be wild, but if you get down fast enough, you should be good. So we pressed forward. And we got to the summit around 8 a.m. So the hike up.
What we saw of the summit.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, as you've seen, it was actually not bad going up. And then the summit, as you've seen, was about 80 mile per hour winds, the gust. And it actually wasn't even gust. It was like sustaining that on the summit.
And we were in a cloud at that
In a cloud,
point.
couldn't see.
It was misty, but not pouring down rain, not thunder or anything.
Right, just in a wet cloud. And we knew that the big winds like that weren't supposed to come until later. So we're like, let's get off the summit and keep moving forward and get off this mountain as fast as possible. So we didn't stay long up there at all. We got down the mountain. So we started heading down.
We had about 5.5 to 6 more miles.
It was about 6 miles to get to tree line from the summit of Washington. So we started pressing forward. As we started coming down Mount Washington, the winds started to pick up. And it was wet, and we couldn't even pull up our apps on our phone. So Sweets was having trouble recording. So we're like, we're just going to press forward. As we got down Washington, the saddle between Mount Washington and Mount Jefferson, in that saddle, we got hit with 100 mile per hour winds. And not just gusts, but gusts that would last for
steady
1 to 2 to 3 minutes solid of just roaring winds.
We couldn't move. We were just on the ground, on all fours.
We had to it was literally knocking us off our feet. And which was pretty wild. So as I turned around at one point, and Mustard Seed is attached to a rock. It had pushed her over. Sweets was holding on to a rock.
Grabbing on.
Yeah.
Because even just being down on the ground wasn't steady enough. We were like hanging on to the rocks on the ground.
And I hear Mustard Seed say, "Thumbs up." And I was only like 15 yards ahead of them. And I turned back and I couldn't hear what they were saying, but she was saying she couldn't walk. So they started to kind of crawl towards me. And I said, well, we got to get off the saddle. Now, in climbing and hiking, we know from being in the Rockies that the saddles and the summits can be some of the worst places for wind, because the saddle is where the wind is fully exposed and usually pushing between the two mountains.
Yes.
And on the summit, you're higher up and there's nothing to stop it or block it. So I was like, let's get off the saddle.
There were times it felt like someone grabbed our packs and just whipped us around, because it would come one direction and then the other at the same time. It was wild. It was crazy. It was very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Yeah. So we pressed forward, because at that point it was either pushed back up to Washington, which is known for the most windiest place on earth.
Right, yeah.
and the second deadliest mountain in the United States behind Mount Rainier, even worse than Denali. So we're like, we're not going to go back up that. We've got to just press forward. So we pushed on, and we, for the next 4 miles, many times we're crawling on our hands and feet, just trying to get through it. And so, of course, with 100-mile-per-hour winds and rain, we've got no video of that today. And we got to the
I really thought I would lose my poles because I was holding them, and it was like hard to hold them. It felt like someone was like trying to pull them out of my hand.
The poncho, her poncho was in my pack, and it flew out of the pack.
It's gone.
Mustard seed, like it was whipping her around so much, like her outer layer pants were falling down. I mean, it was just a wreck of a day. So it took us, we arrived at the Madison Hut around 12 o'clock. So it took us about 4 hours to get across that presidential traverse. And we talked to the crew there. We popped in there and warmed up and got some soup and some hot tea. And we were talking to the crew and some of the guests there. And we still had Mount Madison to go over. And they advised, up and over, yeah. They advised that not do that.
Tree line fully exposed. So
It was going to be a nightmare. We were already exhausted. So we worked with them to find a route to get down. Like what's an alternative detour that we could take to get down. So we got down the mountain.
Otherwise, we just have to stay there.
We had to stay there. And we'd be there for that tonight and tomorrow night because tomorrow's supposed to be worse. And so a wild day. And probably, I'd say the wildest thing we've ever done. We've done some crazy stuff and been in some wild scenarios.
But the Lord sent an angel in one of the guests at the hut.
Yeah.
And they had come up a route.
Yep.
That was in tree line.
Yep.
So
it was tree line for pretty much the whole way down and even starting at the hut. And they advised of some trails not to take as they went through the wilderness. And they said, here's the route you want to take. We went up this yesterday. Take this route down. It's the safest way down. And so the timing of that worked out just perfect. And our adrenaline was pumping all day. And so we were just fully exhausted. And so we needed a safe way down. And then so tonight, one of our subscribers actually was going to help us anyway in this next few days. And so the timing, they picked us up off the highway there where we came out. And yeah, so we have a bed tonight. And it was a wild, exhausting, tiring, draining day. But man, we're so proud of Mustard Seed. She's never been in these scenarios. We've been in some of these scenarios. Yeah. So we at least had that space to go to know how to work through some of this. But this was the most terrifying thing she's ever been involved in. And
genuinely fearing for your death. You don't know.
Yeah, you're fearing that you're going to die, that your life is on the line. There were some, any bad wind could have put us in a terrible situation.
Yeah. So
I do want to say, I've issued a warning already at the beginning of this video, but I do want to say you don't want to put yourself in that scenario. We made a calculated decision that felt it was the best decision to do based on the information we had. But in the whites, I would say that you really got to pay close attention to the weather, because that was minus us having some experience of how to push through that, and the Lord really looking out for us. Today could have ended very, very badly. So you got to be careful. Mountains aren't something you play with. The mountain always wins. And we were very fortunate today. So
we put our shoes to the test.
Yeah.
Mustard Seed and I are on the last day of our shoes. She had about 800 miles on hers. I had about 700 miles on mine.
Yeah.
And we made it through.
You made it
today
through.
On those.
So on a happy note, check out this video of them getting to open their Christmas presents of their brand new shoes. Christmas time for these ladies here. Look at there.
I rattled it and it shook. I said, there's goodies in there.
They're exactly
Oh, look at there. No, those do not look like what you just took off. Those don't look.
Threads.
Those look like
Whoa,
they.
that is
Yeah,
crazy.
look at
And
the
they're
bottom.
dry.
And
Yeah, they are.
they don't have 100-mile-an-hour marks on them.
That is bright.
Look at there. Let's see them bottoms on them. Look at it. It looks like cleats almost.
Oh my
Well, you need tread in these mountains.
Look at here.
Oh my goodness. because I haven't seen that in a long
You
time.
ladies may not fly off the mountain tomorrow.